Most people think they know Singapore, a sterile, gleaming stopover city with a spectacular airport. A place you visit, not a place you discover. But what if I told you that polished surface conceals a nation forged from a constant, desperate battle for survival? What if its immaculate streets are paved with some of the world's most controversial laws? And what if its very identity was so contested, it had to build an entirely new face from the sea itself? This isn't just a trip to another city. This is a countdown of 10 incredible facts that reveal the heart of a paradox, a nation of calculated contradictions. Let's uncover the secrets together. 15 MBR 10E, a tiny nation that waged war on the sea. We begin our countdown with the single most important fact that dictates everything else about Singapore: its geography. It is one of the 20 smallest countries globally, a tiny island state with a total land area of just over 734 square kilometers. That's smaller than New York City. For its nearly 6 million inhabitants, this isn't an abstract statistic. It's an existential reality. The original video rightly stated that this leads to immense challenges like land scarcity and a competitive real estate market. But the truly mind-boggling story isn't the problem, it's the sheer audacity of the solution. When you have no land to expand, what do? You create it. Singapore has been in a perpetual, silent war with the ocean, engaging in one of the most ambitious and sustained land reclamation projects in human history. Since its independence in 1965, the country has literally manufactured over a quarter of its own territory from sand, much of it imported from neighboring countries. Think about that. An area larger than the entire island of Manhattan has been conjured from the sea. When you stand at the iconic Marina Bay, looking at the three-towered hotel with its ship, like Sky Park, you are standing on what was, just a few decades ago, open water. This engineering marvel is a defiant statement against the constraints of nature. This manufactured land, however, is incredibly precious. So how do you house a population on it without prices spiraling completely out of control for the average citizen? This is where we encounter the first great Singaporean paradox. In this bastion of global capitalism, over 80% of the resident population lives in government-built, high-quality public housing. These aren't the grim tower blocks you might imagine. The Housing and Development Board, or HDB, creates entire self-contained towns with parks, markets, and schools. But it's more than just housing. It's a tool of profound social engineering. To prevent the formation of ethnic ghettos, the government implements an ethnic integration policy, setting quotas for the racial makeup of each HDB block. This forces interaction and integration between the Chinese, Malay, and Indian communities, building a shared national identity from the ground up. In Singapore, your home isn't just a home, it's a pillar of a meticulously planned social contract. 15 MBER 9. The peaceful nation that is a lethal fortress. It's a peaceful, stable country focused on economic development. So, you might be shocked to learn that, as the original video stated, Singapore is consistently ranked among the world's top 5 largest arms importers. This seems like a massive contradiction. Why would a nation with no enemies arm itself to the teeth? The answer lies in a simple, brilliant, and chilling defense strategy: the poison shrimp doctrine. The idea is that while a shrimp is small and easily swallowed by a bigger fish, a poison shrimp will kill whatever eats it. Singapore knows it cannot win a prolonged, conventional war, so its goal isn't to win. It's to make the cost of attacking so devastatingly high that no one would ever dare try. It has equipped itself with the most advanced fighter jets, submarines, and missile systems money can buy. This immense military power is the invisible shield that allows Singapore to be the open, global hub it is today. Peace through overwhelming firepower. Facility number 8. An army forged from every citizen. So, how does a small nation with a limited population man such a sophisticated fortress? The answer lies in our fact number 8, mandatory military service or national service (NS). As the original video explained, every able-bodied Singaporean male citizen must serve 2 years in the armed forces, police force, or civil defense force after high school, followed by annual reservist duties until the age of 40. But to see NS as merely a military requirement is to miss its true purpose. It is the primary crucible of Singaporean identity. Imagine a society of immigrants. NS throws the son of a millionaire banker into a jungle trench with the son of a taxi driver. A boy from a Chinese-speaking family learns to depend on his Malay and Indian bunkmates whose cultures and religions may be completely different from his own. For 2 years, under immense physical and mental pressure, the lines of wealth and race are erased, replaced by the singular identity of a soldier defending his home. The bonds forged in NS last a lifetime, creating powerful informal networks that cross-cut society. It's a demanding, often grueling rite of passage that ensures the defense of the nation is not an abstract concept, but a lived, personal responsibility for a huge portion of its populace. It is how Singapore builds a nation out of a crowd. FCT NUMBR 7. The meticulously managed, fine city. From the grand scale of national defense, we zoom into the fabric of daily life. Singapore's cleanliness is legendary. But this order is not voluntary, it is meticulously enforced. This brings us to fact number 7, which the original video touched upon with the rule about flushing public toilets. Singapore is famously known as the Fine City, a clever pun that points to both its pleasantness and its extensive system of fines and strict laws. The most infamous of these is the chewing gum ban. To outsiders, it seems absurdly authoritarian. But it was born from cold pragmatism. In the early 1990s, vandals were using spent gum to jam the door sensors of the brand new and expensive Mass Rapid Transit (MRT) system, causing major disruptions. For the government, the economic cost and social inconvenience outweighed the individual freedom to chew gum. The ban was enacted, and the problem was solved. This philosophy extends everywhere. Drop a piece of litter, and you could face a corrective work order, forcing you to clean a public place while wearing a bright, shameful vest. Drug trafficking carries a mandatory death penalty. This top-down approach, heavily influenced by the founding father, Lee Kuan Yew's belief that a disciplined population was a prerequisite for progress, has created one of the safest and most orderly societies on Earth, but at a cost to personal freedoms that many Westerners would find unacceptable. Feshi Nembi R. Sips, the kiasu, engine of society. The original video shared the amazing anecdote of a 7-year-old passing a major chemistry exam. While remarkable, that story is a single data point illustrating a much larger, all-consuming cultural force, kiasu. This is our fact number 6. It's a Hokkien word that translates roughly to afraid of losing. But it's more than that. It's a deep-seated, national anxiety about being left behind. It's the micro-level reflection of the nation's macro-level survival instinct. Kiasu manifests everywhere. It's in the impossibly long queues for a new iPhone, or a limited edition Hello Kitty doll. It's in the diner who piles their plate high at a buffet, terrified of not getting their money's worth. But its most powerful expression is in education. Singapore is a tuition nation, where an entire multi-billion-dollar industry exists for after-school tutoring. parents push their children relentlessly, driven by the fear that without an edge, their child will lose out in the hyper-competitive society. This kiasu spirit is the high-octane fuel in Singapore's economic engine, producing a world-class workforce. But it also creates immense stress, making Singaporean society one of the most high-pressure environments in the world. Facetino MBR5V, a city in constant, high-speed motion. This relentless national drive is so palpable, you can see it and feel it on the streets. Fact number 5 is that Singaporeans are, on average, the fastest walkers on the planet, clocking in at a brisk 6.5 kilometers per hour. The original video correctly linked this to a bustling lifestyle, but it's a phenomenon reinforced by the city's very design. The entire urban landscape is engineered for hyper-efficiency. The MRT system is a marvel of punctuality, and an extensive network of sheltered walkways protects pedestrians from the tropical sun and rain, encouraging rapid movement between transport nodes and buildings. During rush hour in a central station like Raffles Place, you don't see a crowd, you see a human river, flowing with a singular, urgent purpose. There is little time for leisurely strolling. The pace of the people on the pavement mirrors the frenetic pace of commerce in the skyscrapers above. It's a physical manifestation of a nation that feels it cannot afford to slow down, a city in a constant, collective hurry to secure its future. FFAT NEMBR 4. The highest concentration of millionaires. This ambition has produced almost unimaginable wealth. Fact number 4, as stated in the original video, is that roughly 1 in every 6 resident households in Singapore has disposable assets of over $1 million. This is one of the highest concentrations of wealth on the planet. It's no accident. Singapore has deliberately positioned itself as the Switzerland of Asia, a safe haven for global capital. It has done this by creating a perfect storm for the ultra-rich. Beyond political stability, it offers a robust legal system and, most importantly, highly favorable tax laws. There is no capital gains tax, meaning profits from selling stocks or property are not taxed. There is no inheritance tax, allowing wealth to be passed down through generations untouched. This has made Singapore the premier center for private banking and wealth management in Asia, attracting high net worth individuals from across the globe. While this strategy has supercharged the economy, it has also, as the original video noted, exacerbated wealth disparity, creating a glittering society where the gap between the haves and the have-nots is a constant, underlying social tension. 15 NUMBR 3. The frictionless paradise for business. The wealth of the nation isn't just held by individuals, it's generated by an economy that runs like a well-oiled machine. This brings us to fact number 3. Singapore is consistently ranked as one of the easiest places on earth to do business. This goes far beyond just low corporate taxes. It is a system engineered for radical, frictionless efficiency. Aspiring entrepreneurs can register a new company online in less than a day. But the real foundation is trust. The country's Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau, CPIB, is famously effective and feared, making Singapore one of the least corrupt nations in the world. Contracts are sacrosanct, and the rule of law is absolute. Intellectual property, a critical asset for the tech and pharmaceutical industries, is fiercely protected. This creates a predictable, stable, and trustworthy environment that is irresistible to multinational corporations. Singapore has systematically identified and eliminated nearly every bureaucratic obstacle to commerce, creating the ultimate plug-and-play ecosystem for global business. Fatinambr Tui, the unyielding and controversial hand of justice. This orderly, business friendly paradise is maintained by a system of justice that many in the outside world find shocking and brutal. This is our fact number 2. As the original video starkly pointed out, judicial caning is a legal and regularly practiced form of punishment in Singapore. It is not a historical relic. For a range of offenses including vandalism, rioting, visa overstaying, and robbery, male offenders under 50 can be sentenced to be struck on their bare buttocks with a long, thick rattan cane. The procedure is clinical and designed for maximum pain and deterrence. A medical officer is present to ensure the offender doesn't pass out, reviving them if necessary so the punishment can be completed. It leaves permanent scars. The case of American teenager Michael Fay in 1994, who was caned for vandalism, despite a formal request for clemency from the US president, broadcast this practice to the world. To the Singaporean government, it is a just and effective deterrent, a demonstration that the rights of the community to live in safety supersede the rights of the individual criminal. It is the unyielding, iron hand within the velvet glove of a prosperous society, and a stark reminder of the cultural chasm in views on crime and punishment. FSET num MBER 1, the irrepressible soul of the nation. Singlish finally, after a countdown of engineered systems and iron-fisted rules, we arrive at fact number 1, a creation that is purely organic, irrepressible, and captures the true soul of the Singaporean people. It is Singlish. As the original video wonderfully described, Singlish is a vibrant and efficient Creole language that blends the structure of English with the vocabulary and syntax of Singapore's other languages: Hokkien, Mandarin, Malay, and Tamil. It's a language of delightful shortcuts and expressive particles. You use chop to reserve a table. You add la to a sentence for emphasis or reassurance, or le to suggest or persuade. For decades, the government waged a campaign against it. The Speak Good English movement, viewing it as a barrier to international business. But Singlish not only survived, it thrived. It is the language of the markets, the hawker centers, and the heart. The official recognition of 27 Singlish words in the Oxford English Dictionary was a monumental victory. Singlish is the ultimate proof that even in the most meticulously planned society on Earth, culture will always find a way to bubble up from the ground, creating an identity that is authentic, resilient, and uniquely its own. So, Singapore is not just a city. It's a meticulously crafted nation, a living experiment in social engineering, and a masterclass in pragmatism. It's a place of breathtaking ambition, built on reclaimed land, and fueled by a relentless drive to not just survive, but to win. From its poison shrimp defense to its state-owned housing, from its kiasu culture to its unyielding laws, Singapore is a land of paradoxes that all point to one singular truth. It is a nation that has deliberately and unapologetically chosen its own path. It is the story of how a tiny, vulnerable island willed itself into becoming a global giant. What part of Singapore's story surprised you the most? Share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. I'd love to read them. If this journey opened up a new perspective for you, please share this video with a fellow traveler who loves to look deeper than the surface. And be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating and misunderstood places. Thank you for exploring with me.